Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Yo, Elizabeth Dutton.
Zaron.
You know what's ridiculous?
Sure I do.
You gonna share
Same
it?
thing. It's always ridiculous.
The look on my face right now?
A messed up food product crossover.
Damn it.
Today in messed up food product crossovers. All right, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Paula Deen sells butter-flavored lip balm.
Okay, good. Done. Yes, got it. We're good. I got it. I got the whole picture.
First of all,
Yes.
is she still a thing? I mean, I suppose she's still a human being.
Yeah, I mean, she's still a butter salesman.
I didn't think that she had anything going on, but she's got a website with a store.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't care about that whole flap.
I guess not. Anyway, so she makes lip balm, and it's in butter flavor. It's also banana cream and key lime, but let's talk about butter lip balm.
I think we should back up to key lime. I think you're really missing the mark here. I mean, butter, it's like, okay, butter, but key
lime. So that's
lime.
what you want for Christmas?
Yes.
This is key lime, Paula Deen lip balm.
Lip balm.
This is the most depressing thing to
3 months
pull out
supply.
of a stocking. So yeah, she has these, and they look really budget. And they're for sale in her online store for $2.49 US. I'm not even going to look at what else she sells there because I really don't care. But here's the thing.
So somewhere there in China, there's a factory making Paula Deen butter chapstick.
Yeah. Did you know what the tagline is?
Oh no, there's a tagline.
Mm-hmm. Put a little south in your mouth.
Because with the flap that she got, where she lost her whole empire for, that's funny. A little south in your mouth. She's like, I'm leaning into it. Yeah, I gotta sell MAGA butter crowd.
She's just sucking on a butter flavored lip balm now. So there you go.
Good for her. Live your life.
Live your best life.
Well, that's a good one.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's 100% ridiculous. I mean, it is Paula Deen butter lip products. So, yes. I mean, right there. I've got one for you if you got a moment.
Yes, I do.
You're not going anywhere?
No.
Okay. This is a story of a patriot, because I know you love patriots.
Totally.
And it's a proud blue-collar anti-hero, a man who wanted to right the wrongs of Napoleon for stealing a great treasure from the land of his birth. And so, our blue-collar anti-hero, he felt he was compelled to act. He had to for his country and their pride. And, he was a patriot after all. So one day, he went to the Louvre and he stole the Mona Lisa.
Oh, wow.
This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous. All right, Elizabeth.
Yes.
What do you know about the painting The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci?
It's a painting.
Si.
It's in the Louvre.
Si.
And, I've never seen it in person.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. You've been to the Louvre?
No.
Oh,
I've been to
that
Paris,
would explain
but I've
why
never
you've never seen it in person.
It's a long story and very complicated how I was thwarted at every turn trying to get in there.
Oh, you actually did try to get to the Louvre?
I tried, yeah, but it just didn't work out. Anyway, but from what I understand, it's far smaller than people realize.
Yeah. I've been to the Louvre. I've seen it in person.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm just a world traveler, Elizabeth, a jet setter, if you will. Be jealous. It's okay.
I am.
I'm used to it by now.
Am.
So, yeah, I saw it. It's tiny. I mean, not tiny like a postage stamp tiny, but it's like kids' art project size. And it's painted on basically a tabletop. It's
and I've seen photos from the room in the gallery where it's just constant, such a huge crowd of people around it.
I got really lucky that when I was there, it was not like that. Now,
Were you with Beyonce?
Yeah, how did you know? Yeah. No, wait, that was JC. Sometimes I'm like, am I JC? Is he me? I don't know. Where do we begin? Where do we end? I don't know. We both agree on Beyonce. So anyway, the Mona Lisa, it's, as you said, it's a small painting. It's usually behind a glass box. It's on the wall and surrounded by people, and such that it's, if you're going to even try to see it, you're going to be seeing it through hands holding up phones, essentially,
right.
these days.
Yeah.
Now, the painting, I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It's known as Gioconda, a.k.a. the most famous painting in the world. Also, it's considered the foremost masterpiece of the Italian Renaissance era of artwork, other than, say, Michelangelo's ceiling at the Sistine Chapel. Like, you can think of it as a painting that captured the creation of a new way of looking, because he had the Mona Lisa do a 3/4 pose. And up till then, all portraiture had been either straight on or at a slightly different angle, but nobody had thought to do a 3/4 so you can see them. And like the pose is like a head and bust, basically.
Yeah.
But the way that she's turned at the angle, it gives a dimensionality and a life to it. And it's just an amazing advancement. And now all portraits pretty much use that pose. He basically changed how we look at a person in a photograph or a painting.
Yeah.
So that's Leonardo da Vinci. He's just one of those people that in small ways, he's still impacting how we do what we do. He's one of my favorite people. I think you know that. I talk about him. I own a bunch of his books. I constantly go back and reread his journals. And as I said, he taught me to see. He also taught me to think scientifically and to think beautifully scientifically. I'm a big fan of the guy, right? Now, do you know the painting well if I just kind of casually reference it?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Hey, man, I took art history in college.
Right. I forgot. You cultured.
I took it because I failed calculus twice.
That's a good reason.
And I thought I have to get my GPA up. I like art. And I took it and I didn't realize, I sat down and realized I have to memorize so much stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot. And a lot of in foreign languages and things like fauvism. You're like, fauvism? Ah.
It was awesome, though. I'm glad I did it.
Oh, definitely. I'm right there with you.
So,
Studying art is a gift to give yourself.
So I'm kind of an expert in art.
Okay, well,
is what I'm trying to say.
Then you understand. The background of the Mona Lisa.
Yes.
What do you like about it?
The color.
Do you know that in the background, if you look at both sides of the Mona Lisa, the two sides don't match?
Yeah.
It's like two different paintings. I love that because it makes it like she's this borderland between these two different worlds. And it's very casual. You don't really think about it.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's the sfumato technique that makes it all smoky and mysterious. And then there's all the the falling contours and textures of her hair, the water. It's just a lot. Him basically showing off with what he can do.
Well, and to convey that the mystery in her facial expression.
Yes. And then there's, of course, the great mystery. What is she thinking? Now, some people have also said that it's a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. And if you look at some of the drawings of him, it does favor. They favor, as they say down south.
Exactly.
Now, I didn't know this, but the Mona Lisa, it being the most famous painting in the world and it being revered, that wasn't always the case. And that was as recently as last century, that wasn't the case. Like in 1910, the Mona Lisa was considered a lesser masterpiece. And then in 1912, the Mona Lisa was suddenly considered an undisputed masterpiece and the most famous painting in the world. So what happened in 1911 that changed everything for the Mona Lisa? It was stolen.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that's what did it. It vastly improved its value, and suddenly it changed not only how we think about art in terms of our desire for it, but how we valued art. It really did change the reason why a Basquiat painting now is so expensive is because the Mona Lisa was stolen. Right. Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mona Lisa is a painting that Leonardo da Vinci started in 1503, and it took him a long time to paint it. He worked on it over his career. It took him for 16 years. He was working on it until 1519. The woman who it is a woman named Lisa Giardini, and she was a noblewoman. She was a wife of a noblewoman, rather. And, she... For a long time, people, as I said, people thought maybe it was Leonardo. They've now pretty much decided it was definitely her. Now, there have been a lot of other mysteries about the painting. We'll get into those in a little bit. Now, in 1910, things were basically leaning towards World War I, and national pride was very big in Europe. We've talked about World War I a little bit, and you're familiar with it. It wasn't just who shot the Archduke? There was a lot of things that lead to World War I, right? Now, by the way, as I told you before, we have our patriot, our blue-collar hero, and I said that Napoleon stole the Mona Lisa. That's according to this guy. Turns out he didn't actually. The Mona Lisa was not a spoil of war. The real story is Leonardo brought it with him when he moved to France towards the end of his life, when his patron then became, instead of the Duke of Milan, he becomes the King Francis I of France. So this painting, when he dies, becomes the property of the king. And then it stays in the court for centuries and survives all the tumult of the French court until, boom, 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 the French Revolution. The French Revolution comes along, and we all know about that.
Yeah.
Stuff gets
how
bloody.
that worked out.
Yeah. The Mona Lisa becomes the property of the French Republic, and the painting is rescued from the palace where it has lived and cloistered and nobody ever gets to see it. And now it is brought out and rehoused in the new Louvre museum for all the people of France to see. They love it. Boom, then comes Napoleon. Napoleon's like, I want it too. So he goes, he takes it and he goes, I'm going to put this on my bedroom wall. And he literally takes the Mona Lisa and he hangs it on his bedroom wall. And there it stays until Napoleon is removed to Elba. And then after his confiscation, it is once again returned to the people of the Republic of France and put back on display in the Louvre. But the Napoleon part of the story is why our Italian blue-collar antihero decided to steal the Mona Lisa in the first place. Basically, he got it wrong, but he was like, I'm willing to bet on that.
Wow, okay.
So our dude, our Italian blue-collar antihero, his name is Vincenzo Peruggia. He was a glass man.
Okay.
A glazier. You know a glazier? Like, yeah. So he was hired by the Louvre to help fix the glass cases of the museum. The Mona Lisa and like many of the other masterpieces were all behind glass cases.
Yeah.
And in 1910, there had been a threat against the Mona Lisa. So the Louvre hired this company to make glass cases and to basically, check on all the glass that they could to protect these paintings.
And they unwittingly brought a fox in the hen house.
And then exactly. So they hire in our man Vincenzo and he becomes the inside man as a glazier. So in 1911, at the time of the heist, Vincenzo Peruggia, he was 29 years old. He lived in Paris with his two brothers. His mama had named her boys Vincenzo, Michele, and Lancelotti, or Lancelotti.
Oh, Lancelot. That's a cool name.
I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah, I do like that.
So the three brothers lived in the 10th arrondissement, which at the time was an Italian enclave mostly. And when it came time to steal the Mona Lisa, he's like, Vincenzo's like, I got to bring in my brothers. So he's like, guys, I got an idea. And so they come up with this plan. It becomes a family affair, if you will. Now, Elizabeth, I want you to be able to imagine this cast. So Vincenzo Peruggia, he was... as I've read about him, not a tall man.
Okay.
He stood about 5'3". Now imagine his brothers probably did too. And he also apparently had a very short fuse to match his very short stature. He was hot-tempered. He once stopped talking to his own brother over a 1 franc debt. He's just like, no. Right? He's a very stubborn guy. Basically, I kind of pictured him as like the evil Super Mario brother Wario. Right?
Okay, I can totally see that.
And his brothers are like these two Luigis. Okay, so his brothers, as I told you, names Michele and Lancelotti. Now, those two had a nickname for Vincenzo. They called him Passuade or Meglioi. Pardon my Italian. But it translates as nut or the madman. So the brothers knew who Vincenzo
they know that
was.
this guy's,
They're like, he's Wario, okay?
Yeah.
Now, this guy, our Wario, he's the one who has to keep his cool and a level head while he attempts to steal the Mona Lisa with his brothers in a family affair. Okay, Elizabeth, I'd like you to close your eyes and to picture it.
My eyes are closed.
It's Sunday night in Paris. The streets are swollen with people out enjoying a warm, late summer night. It's August 21st. You are out among them, but not for long. When no one is looking, you shoot a crossbow bolt high into the air. It strikes its target. It lodges into the stony parapet of the castle wall of the Louvre Plaza. And you grab the rope with gloved hands, and with a graceful walk up the wall, soon enough you are high above the City of Lights.
That sounds about right for me.
Obviously, you are not there for the trains. You're working. You got other plans on this trip. You are a cat burglar, just like Cary Grant or Danny Ocean and the boys. Your office for tonight is the rooftop of the Louvre. Now, you wait a few hours for the moment to strike. Sometime around 3 a.m., you decide the museum has fallen still, silent. It's like a crypt down there. You're like, I can get to work. Now, you've already removed a glass panel, you've tied off a rope system, and all you have left to do now is to lower yourself successfully into the museum, which you do. You're good at this.
Yeah, I am.
And with a flourish, you land like a cat. You spy your target waiting for you, your prize, if you will, the Italian Renaissance painting Death of the Virgin by Michelangelo Merisi de Caravaggio. The masterwork is striking.
I love Caravaggio, by the way.
I know you did.
Okay.
But you're not shopping on this trip. You were hired to steal this work for a former nun, one who became an heiress to a Colorado gold strike fortune. She wants the painting of Mary for her new home in the Rockies, and you're like, bet.
Oh, sure.
So you're only happy to oblige her, and you tiptoe over to your prize when you spot these 3 Italian handymen. They're not quiet. They're bumbling. They're arguing. They look like Super Mario Brothers, right? The 3 are dressed in overalls and work smocks, blue denim jackets, denim hats. It's long past closing time. It's like 3, 4 in the morning at this point. There should be no one in the Louvre but you and the security guards who were pretty much asleep at this point. And, of course, the artwork. Now,
Sure.
you were holding very still, hiding in a pool of shadow as you watch Wario and Luigi's as they cross in the salon. And now you are in the Salon Carré. It's the home to all the Italian Renaissance masterpieces, which happens to be where the Mona Lisa is also kept. The 3 Italian Super Mario Brothers, they are headed right towards you. And you're like standing there in just a little pool of shadow. You don't know what to do. The 3 are silently arguing with their hands back and forth, right? And you're like, it looks like a very heated hand-talking argument. Now, you don't know what to do, so you just remain still. And the 3 Super Mario Brothers, they walk right up to the Mona Lisa. They look around furtively. They nod at one another, and then quiet as church mice, they unshackle the painting from the security bracing that's on the wall. Then they remove the protective glass case. The 3 Super Mario Brothers, they're thieves just like you. So
Hello.
you watch them work. It's professional curiosity.
Yeah, exactly.
You're also worried that if they bungle this, you're going to get caught because they mess up.
Yeah.
You're like, I still got to steal I'm working here, people.
Exactly. And I have a very specific style.
And also, they are taking a little tiny 2-foot painting that's on like boards of poplar. You're after a 12-foot by 8-foot canvas painting.
Hell yeah.
You got to figure out how to roll this up without crinkling or ruining it. You got issues, right? You don't need this. They're after some satchel-sized painting.
Yeah, get out of here.
Wait, what is this, amateur hour? But the brothers, they work fast. 2 act as lookouts as Vincenzo removes the Mona Lisa from the protective glass case. Once he frees it from the glass box, he tucks the wood panels underneath his work smock. He signals to the other Italian handymen. It's like they're ready, and they get the signal, and boom, you watch them go. You're like, oh, maybe I can still get to work. You're a little jealous, though, because as I told you, they got that little tiny thing, and you still got this 12-foot painting you got to get down.
Right.
What you don't see is on the way out, there's a reason not to be so jealous, because on the way out of the Louvre, Vincenzo runs into trouble. The brothers split up to make it out on their own. And Vincenzo, he's picked a carefully selected escape route, and he finds that it's blocked by a locked door. He's stuck in the museum. He doesn't know what to do. He brought a pass key from the swiped at work. He thought this will be great. But he brought the wrong key. So it's doesn't match the door. He didn't have time to test it. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, what can I do? What can I do? All of a sudden he starts hearing footsteps. The footsteps get louder. They're approaching. They're coming towards him. Luckily, our Wario, he's a fast thinker. So he pulls a screwdriver from his work pocket in his overalls, and he removes the doorknob really quickly. Just 2 screws, pops it off. The light of dawn is now coloring the windows. So he knows he needs to get out.
Yeah.
Pretty much right now.
Yeah.
Other workers will soon start arriving for their Monday shift. The footsteps are drawing closer and closer. He takes a breath. And he calms his nerves, and then he sees the footsteps are not a security guard, but in fact, they are a plumber who is early to work. Hey, a fellow plumber. So Vincenzo indicates the door handle and holds it up and shows that it's broken. He lifts it to show the plumber. The plumber sees it, and he's like, hey, Wario, I get you. So the fellow blue-collar worker, he helpfully opens the door from his side and lets him out. And so now Vincenzo is free, and he and the Mona Lisa escape into the streets. It's tucked under his work smock. Nobody sees it. Vincenzo steps out of the Louvre, into the morning air, onto the morning streets. The early risers are greeting the day. Others are headed to work. He looks at the beautiful Tuileries gardens opposite the Louvre Plaza. He spots his brothers. They made it out too. And then a whistle, he catches their attention. The 3 line up. They make it to a train station, buy tickets, and disappear.
Nice.
They have stolen the Mona Lisa.
Yes.
And after this short little break, Elizabeth, I'll be back to tell you what happened to my man Vinny, Michel, and Lancelote after this little break.
I can't wait.
And we're back, Elizabeth.
Hey-oh.
Let's get back to the Louvre, a place you haven't been, but just try to imagine it, right?
Rub it in, why don't you?
If you can believe it, the next day there's a blank spot where the Mona Lisa was hanging.
I can't believe
the day before. But the part you won't be able to believe is no one notices.
What?
No one notices that the Mona Lisa is missing. There's just this empty space on the wall. A whole day passes. This wealthy dilettante artist, a cat named Louis Barrault, right? He likes to come in and paint in the Louvre, and he sits there by Zaron, by the Mona Lisa, and he gets busy with his like little canvases, and he does his own little what is it, en plein?
Plein air. But that's usually outside.
I know, but he does it indoors. He does like non-plein air.
He's a different air.
So Louis sitting there all set up, and he's miffed, because the Mona Lisa is not there. It's just a blank space. So he's like, oh. So, of course, being a wealthy dilettante, he has to speak to the manager of the Louvre. And he's like, oh. No, I'm just kidding. There's no manager of the Louvre. But he goes up to a guard, and he's like, hey, I'm Louis Barrault. I'm always here. You may recognize me. They're like, I don't know.
They're like, you're so annoying. Like, what do you want?
The Mona Lisa, it is missing. Do you have it where it's in? And now the guard tells him, the photographers, right? And he's like, no. Now, what this means is the photographers, they've been taking the masterpieces up onto the roof of the Louvre and taking photos of them with these cameras that they developed to do really large formats. So they're up there like on sticks and the old wooden box cameras. And they're taking these amazing paintings up into the fresh light and taking photos of them.
Yeah.
He thinks, that must be what it is.
Yeah.
But Louis the dilettante, he's like, but would you please go and ask the photographers when it will be back, right?
Dang, dude.
The security guard's like, sacre bleu, mon frère, are you for real?
There are so many paintings to paint.
Like, find another one.
Find something else.
Right, but he's like, no, I must have the Mona Lisa. Right, so the guard goes, he's like, all right, fine.
Perv, whatever.
So he goes off, he buckles off, he talks to somebody or pretends to, and he comes back and he's like, look, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. The painting is not with the photographers, so I cannot tell you when it will be back. Tu comprends? And the guy's like, Louis the dilettante artist, he's like, mais oui. But, my friend, if the photographers don't have it and it is not here on the wall, well, then where is it? And the guard, he starts putting two and two together. He gets to cat, and he's like, oh, man. So, full 26 hours after the Mona Lisa has been stolen, they realize it's been stolen.
So a whole day at work.
Yeah. So the guard goes, tells his boss, look, we've got a little problem. So the curator of the Louvre is this man named Georges Bernett. Now, news breaks because the Mona Lisa is still it's a big deal. It may not be the most famous painting in the world, but still it's a national treasure.
Well, sure, yeah.
And people are like, art crime, right? So they just cannot believe it. Now, George, he has to go before the French press and he's like, this is nothing. It's only a practical joker would dare to deprive the French people of their national treasure, right? And he's like, what idiot could possibly think they could sell or fence the Mona Lisa? I mean, come on now, right? And
that's
people
true.
are like, that's a good point. Now, the cops are like, we don't think it is a practical joker. We, the gendarmes, they believe it is a ransom job. So they think soon someone will step forward and go, I will give you back your national treasure for this large amount of francs, right? That's the idea that they're going for. They're like, so the gendarmes, they tell the press, it's just like, look, it will be like maybe 2 days tops, right? Right, Pierre? 2 days? And so the newspapers are like, okay, 2 days. 2 days pass. Nobody steps forward. Nobody asks for a ransom. They go back to the gendarmes. What is going on now with the Mona Lisa? They're like, maybe 3 days. So the French police, though, they have very few clues to go off of. So they're stalling because they got nothing, right? But they do have Alphonse Bertrand. Now, Alphonse Bertrand, Elizabeth, you know who Alphonse Bertrand is?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't either. But this guy, he's apparently the father of the mugshot.
Oh.
When a cop and a camera love each other very much. No, he is the father of the mugshot, and he invented the game. Basically, he's like, we get photos of these people, we'll know who they are. People are like, brilliant.
Wow.
So unlike the Mona Lisa, the mugshot is an unflattering profile shot, not a three-quarter turn, right? It yet still reveals humanity in a way. Yeah,
dude, those old mugshots are pretty interesting.
Oh my God, they're amazing. We talked about this. Anyway, so this cat Berthelon, the dude who invents the mugshot, he's a French cop, and he's on the case, right? So he's like, all right, French police, with me. We're going to look for clues, right? And so they go, and they find a fingerprint on the glass case. They're like, a clue, right?
This feels very much like a Wes Anderson montage I'm about to be put into.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So Bertillon, he has all 257 employees of the Louvre who worked that day submit to be fingerprinted to see if they are the one whose fingerprint it was. But the problem with his plan is Vinny Perugia is in the wind. He's not coming back to work.
Oh, yeah, no, he's done. He's done.
Meanwhile, the French police, they have to hit the beat. They're on the streets. They're using the old shoe leather technique. They're handing out leaflets. They're asking all their snitches, like, anybody know anything? More days pass. Nobody knows anything. 6,500 leaflets are passed out. $40,000 franc reward is offered. Nothing. Nobody's coming forward, right? Except for once the reward is offered, people start coming forward. Family members, they start stitching on their fam. It was my mon frère Jean-Luc. I swear, you should come and arrest him. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So people are like, no, this was my coworker, my boss Francois. Go to his house and you search, you will find it. So people are doing that, and then some folks are real certain that it was the Germans. It is definitely the Germans.
Exactly.
Right, and then there's the busybodies and paranoid types who throw their 2 cents in. But this is the only thing that the French police have to work with.
Yeah, they've got like psychics who
early
are like,
Twitter.
Yeah.
So the newspapers around the world, they pick this up and it becomes a media circus. And, this is basically one of the first big media sensations of the young century. This happens before the Lindbergh baby. This is like
1911?
1911.
I don't remember this happening.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see
you
it
were
in the
very
papers.
young at the time.
Well, not
You must
really.
have been 20, 22?
In my 20s,
So anyway, a week passes and the gendarmes have no suspects, no leads to go on, just a bunch of Frenchmen going, it's the Germans, right? So people are like, why would the Kaiser want to steal the Mona Lisa? Come on, use your head, Jacques. Now, French did, of course, the most French thing to do after a week has passed and there's no Mona Lisa. What do you think they did?
Oh, you said the most French
thing
to
they could
do.
possibly do.
Tell me whatever offensive thing it is that you're going to
They reopened the Louvre after they'd shut it for the week.
Yeah.
And they invited crowds to come into the museum and to stare at the blank spot where the Mona Lisa used to be.
Oh, my God.
And people came. They were by the droves. And they stood there and like, look at its absence. It is more powerful in its absence. And one of the famous looky-loos was your man, Franz Kafka, because he likes change and metamorphosis.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
Boom, there's the metamorphosis.
Fatalism. Yeah, they're all staring at it, one solitary tear.
Yeah, smoking French cigarettes.
It speaks to me.
Just talking like memes. So now you may be asking, Elizabeth.
Yes, probably, whatever it is.
What happened to the Perugia brothers?
Can I make a guess?
Yes, please.
Did they go to the homeland? Did they go to Italy?
Oh, it's a really good guess. No.
No. Did they take to the sewers?
Another good guess. a better guess. I like that one. Once again, sadly, no. While everyone was staring at the blank space where the Mona Lisa used to be, the superhero Mario brothers, they were in the wind. And specifically, we'll focus less on Michel and Lancelotti and talk about Vincenzo because he stole the Mona Lisa and he has it. He takes it to a very special place, his boarding house. He puts it under the floorboards of his boarding house. He just hides it there. And then he's like, oh, this may not be good because of the moisture. So he puts it stuffs it in a trunk, and then that's where it stays.
In a boarding house.
In a boarding house
I wish
trunk.
that he was a real sicko and like...
Put in like bed with him and like...
No! And
I think he said a real sicko.
Yeah, let me
like...
finish. So I wish he was a real sicko and put it under like his trench coat. I mean, yeah, he'd wear clothes under the trench coat. But then like go to the Louvre and stare at the blank wall with it under his trench coat with everyone else and be like, such a tragedy.
He should go and like flash people with it and just give them a quick instant and close it and walk away.
He's wearing nothing under his trench coat, but he's got it sort of like
covering all of his bits.
Tied in his...
Yeah, like one of the sandwich boards.
Yes.
And he's a flasher.
But it's a very tiny... Well, he's a tiny guy.
Do you know what I learned? Michael Jordan, the reason why he wore big shorts was because he always wore his UNC shorts from college underneath his professional, under his Bulls uniform.
Really?
So that's why he had to get bigger. The whole reason, it was not because like he thought it looked dope. He's like, I want to hide the fact I'm weird.
I'm wearing 2 pairs of shorts.
my lucky shorts from college.
I love that.
And he wore it every game, apparently, during his whole career. The same pair of shorts. Anyway.
The smell.
So boarding house, Vincent Perugia, he's got the Mona Lisa stuffed in the trunk and he's just hidden there like Michael Jordan's boxers. The French cops, they come to his place because he's one of the Louvre employees. And they eventually get down the list. They come to his house and they're like, oh, we want to talk to you. No, my man Vinny.
He's like, I've been the sick.
He's doing like really offensive hand gestures.
Yeah, totally.
So the French cops they question. But Vinny, he stays cool. Hot-headed as he is, my man is like cooler than a polar bear's toenails, as my big boy would say, right? I mean, then he handles the cops' questions with ease and elan and grace. He's just batting him away. He's like, oh, I have an alibi. And he takes a drag of his
gives
French
like
cigarettes.
a fake French accent.
And they're like, I made him French for this, you see? See how quick that was? That's how good of a criminal he was.
How good he is?
So they're like, well, where were you? And he's like,
I'm a French.
I was just simply working at a different place that day. And they're like, well, that works out for us. So
fair enough.
The gendarmes left. Like, it couldn't have been him. He was working somewhere else. So,
and the telltale Mona Lisa's under the
Yeah,
floorboards.
it's like just like right there. They're probably ashing on it as they're sitting there smoking with him, right?
I love that in your mind.
Everyone's
the
smoking.
gendarmes are like
Everybody's
just
smoking.
everywhere they go.
Yeah, it's just a cloud of smoke. So Mona Lisa chilling out in the trunk. We'll set that aside for a second. Now, the cops, they missed the Mona Lisa and they stopped harassing Vincenzo because they're busy. They have to go harass all the famous artists and poets of the area because one of them clearly must have done it.
Of course, that makes sense.
They, on September 7th, the cops go and they bust the poet Guillaume Apollinaire and on suspicion of involvement. And now he turns out that Apollinaire's secretary, a dude named Gary Perret, he snitched to a French newspaper and said, oh yes, it's Apollinaire. You need to get after him. He was telling me all about it. And allegedly, he did this because the two of them had like a spat. And
yeah, you want to tune someone up. That's the way to do it.
Yes, exactly. So Apollinaire, he gets arrested, and the cops, they rough him up. They're like, where is the Mona Lisa? And he's like, I'm a poet, man. I can only take so many blows.
I'd be like, I heard Zaron has it, and he does unspeakable things to it.
He walks around with a big coat. He's got like a sandwich board in front of him. So to get himself out of his legal predicament, Apollinaire, the poet, he gives, up the most famous person he knows, who is Pablo Picasso. He's like, go ask Picasso where the Mona Lisa is.
They're like, get the big fish.
So the cops, they take their floating cloud of smoke down to Picasso's studio, and they're like, knock, knock, knock. And Picasso opens, he kicks whatever woman's off his lap, and he's like, you are not my wife. Get off here. I need to go. So he opens the door, and Picasso's like, who told you I stole the Mona Lisa? I am offended. Don't you know I only steal ideas from African artists? I don't No, Picasso didn't say that. But he could have.
He should have.
So what Picasso did say was, oh, thank God, the police. Yes, guys, look, I have no idea where the Mona Lisa is, but I'm so glad you are here because, interestingly, I happen to have some lost artwork from the Louvre, and it may or may not be stolen, but if you could do me a solid, since you're going that way, could you return these stolen artworks to the Louvre? Would you do that for a brother?
Was it his own stuff?
Yeah, no, he had stolen stuff from the Louvre, and he just tried to give it to the cops because he's like, they're here.
It's like a library find amnesty.
It's like, look, we're cool now? We're cool?
Looking for. I thought he was like, oh, I have these pieces that were stolen from the Louvre and they're his paintings.
Yeah, no.
Make sure they get hung up.
He's not Banksy. But what it was, the Les Demoiselles d'Avignon? It was the masks for that painting. That's what he gave back. And he's like, look, I've invented Cubism. You can have this back.
He very much was doing a library fine amnesty.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, if I'm not, he's like, don't tell Georges Braque I've done this. I want all the credits. So another suspect in this theft, by the way, is the American fat cat banker, JP Morgan.
No.
He gets dragged in. Yeah, because at the time, JP Morgan was famous for taking like a steamliner over to Europe, and then he'd take his vast wealth and drag it around Europe and just vacuum up whatever he could from the houses that have these paintings and statuary. He's like, oh, you're falling on hard times, you German baron. I'll buy up that stuff.
Right.
And so everybody knew about JP Morgan doing this, and the rumors of him being involved got so bad that the old robber baron himself had to come out and say, make a statement to the press, I didn't take it, all right, people? So they're like, okay. And he's like, look, I am offended. You good people should know that I only steal money from orphans, the infirmed, the elderly, suckers in the stock market, but I would never steal artwork. Once again, he didn't say that.
But he should have.
Now, despite all these accusations and denials and arrests and snitching, and the Mona Lisa remained missing, still nobody could find it. 2 years pass. As the seasons changed, Elizabeth. No, but after this short break, I'll tell you what happened to the Mona Lisa and how it was finally returned to the people.
Ooh la la.
All right, where were we?
In Paris?
Yeah, that's right. 2 years after Vincenzo Peruggia stole the Mona Lisa, a.k.a. Wario. Yeah, so
You make it sound like the Mona Lisa, a.k.a. Wario.
It's not. So our Wario Peruggia, he decides, you know what, it's been long enough. I'm going to go and try to sell this painting on the black market.
Easy enough.
It's just the most famous painting in the world now.
No big.
So he's like, look, I need to get a big payday. I've written a letter to my dad telling him I'm going to get a big score. I need the money, right? I need the money that changes lives. And it's 1913 now, so we're just moments before World War I is about to kick off. People are getting nervous. They're like, I got to catch a train.
No, wait, he originally took this because he was mad because it was Italian in a French museum, and now he's like, but I need money.
Oh, I'll undress all of that for you.
Thank you
and
so
show you
much.
the naked truth of it in just 1 second.
I can't wait.
So my man Vincenzo, his Luigi brothers, they're out of the picture at this
Lancelot.
point. Lancelot and Michele, they're gone for this point. It's just him working an antique dealer named Alfredo Gari, right? He sees the dude has ads, right? This guy has like ads about like, hey.
On the bus benches?
Yeah, the bus benches of Rome, Milan. No, yes. Basically, he's like in Florence. He's like, look, I'll buy grandma's stuff.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, hey, we need money to get out of Italy. So he's like, you know, pretty much doing a big push at this point. And so Vincenzo's like, I can slip something past this guy. He seems like he's got a little bent nose on stuff. He'll he'll look past it. The guy's like, oh, you got the Mona Lisa. Okay, whatever. Yeah, bring it by the shop. Right? Let's see it, right? So he shows up with the Mona Lisa. He brings it by the shop. And he's like, hey, here it is. So the guy, Alfredo Gari, is like, that's the Mona Lisa. He looks on the back, authenticates it. There's like the appropriate stickers, the Louvre marks and everything. He's like, this is the Mona Lisa, man. Do you know you have the real Mona Lisa? No one lied to you. This is the real thing. And he's like, I know. I want to sell it to you. And he's like,
I got to get myself.
I got to get out of Italia. So he's like, okay, look. I know a guy at the Uffizi Museum in Florence. He's the guy. If you want to sell this, he's the one. I'll have him authenticate it because I'm pretty sure it's the real deal. But I'm just a humble dealer of antiquities. What do I know? Antiques and such. So let's call my dude, right? No, the Uffizi Museum. You've been to that one.
I have,
okay,
yes.
we've both been to this. What do you love that one as much as I do?
I love it.
It's like the little rooms and you go through it and it has that huge plaza. So it just feels really much like you've stepped back in time.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any favorite paintings? Because there's a bunch of Caravaggios there.
There are a bunch of Caravaggios. I saw an exhibit of Artemisia Gentileschi there, which is another one of my all-time favorites.
Totally.
In the style of Caravaggio very much. But yeah,
Totally.
that was just breathtaking.
Seeing the brush strokes on paintings up close, it never gets old. It's always just takes the breath away.
Yeah.
You actually see the brush strokes.
But particularly at the Uffizi and like other galleries in Europe, it's just to be in that kind of
that space
and it enhances the experience.
Totally.
You know,
with the gilded walls.
When you're on the tour in the continent.
So the director of the Uffizi at that time was a man named Giovanni Poggi. Now, Giovanni, he gets contacted by the antique dealer, and he, for whatever reasons that only he knows, he agrees to meet Vincenzo. He's like, oh, I'll bring him by. He's like, no, you got to come to us. And he's like, really? I got to leave Florence. Okay, I come to you. So a meeting is arranged to take place in Milan, right? So Giovanni travels up to Milan. Vincenzo arrives at the appointed place, and of course, he has the Mona Lisa with him. He just opens up his coat, and he's like, look, there it is.
They're like, whoa, put some clothes on.
Man, you still got the sandwich board
You
going?
are one hairy man.
You are a kinky son of... So it's under his arm, basically, like wrapped in brown paper or whatever. He throws it down on a table, unwraps it. The museum director inspects the painting. He has the same reaction. He's like, this is a real thing. What are you got the real Mona Lisa here? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, oh. So Vinny's like, now, how much for it? That's what I want to know here. How much for it? What are you going to pay me? And the guy's like, okay. He's like, well, what are you doing with this? And he's like, I stole the masterpiece for Italia. I bring Mona Lisa home because that Napoleon, he take out a painting out of tree. And it goes off. His hands are flying and going crazy. And he's just going all about patriotic fervor. And they're nodding along because I told you, it's about to be World War I. So everyone was like, oh, yes. And then if it's not the Germans, it's the French, you know? So what is this museum director going to do? Is he going to buy the painting for Italia? Or is he going to call the police for Italia? What's he going to do?
I don't know. Buy it for Italia.
Poggi, he needs a moment to think.
Okay.
He says, I'm going to need to raise the funds. I don't have that money on me here in this suit. Let me go talk to people. And he's like, okay, but do you mind if I hold on to the painting and I show it to people? I go, I'm trying to buy this because they'll believe it if I have it in my hands. He's like, yeah, no problem. Vincenzo's like, you go, you take it. And so he's like, okay, for safekeeping, I hang on to it. He's like, perfecto. So he leaves. Vincenzo leaves. Black Market Warrior was like, yeah, you hang on to the Mona Lisa, I'll come back and I'll meet you here and I'll pick up my million lira. And they're like, or whatever the amount. I don't remember that. Right? So Vincenzo leaves the Mona Lisa with Poggi and the other guy. And so now what do you think they do?
RUNNOFT with it.
They're not me. The museum director immediately calls the police. He's like, pronto.
Yeah, well, there's a reward.
Well, he's doing. He's a museum
and you
director.
Know what?
He's got to
for the greater good of art.
He fights the fight. I mean, this is his calling,
God bless.
right?
Yeah.
So he's true to the cause, and he calls up the police. He's pronto. I got this guy. So 30 minutes later, like our Black Market Wario, he's got this rental place or whatever. Half an hour after his meeting, gets a knock at the door, and he's like, "Oh, it's my man Poggi with my money. I can't wait to get to my lira." And he's like adjusting his tie. He opens up the door, and there's the cambieri, right? So just a bunch of armed federal police.
Que schifo.
Now, Perugia, he gets arrested, right? And Vincenzo's like, oh, I stole a Big Mac from Napoleon. I am a patriot, right?
Wait,
They're
did
like,
you say I
settle down.
stole a Big Mac from Napoleon?
I stole a Big Mac from a Napoleon. So he goes to court, and
I swear to God, that's what you said.
it's what it sounded like. I know.
It did kind of
It's
sound
all right. Hey. My Italian, it's very
Who's to say that's not what he said?
Yeah, so he's in court, and he is surprisingly not a model defendant.
What?
I know. Paint your face shocked. He was, how do you say in Italian? A nightmare. So he was also filled with a passionata and an agita. I'm getting it all out before we're done, right?
I like it.
So other people like me, we would have called him unhinged. So
bonkers.
Exactly. During his trial, he would interrupt the prosecutor. When he was not doing that, he would interrupt his own lawyer. When he wasn't doing that, he would interrupt the judge.
Oh, that's smart.
So the judge is like, oh, man. So he's like, basically, the judge doesn't throw the book at him because they're all Italians. And they kind of like the national pride argument that he just stays with. They got this little heated spark plug of a man going, I did it for all of us, for Italia, for Leonardo. He is one.
Well, and it hadn't been a united country for that long.
No, at this point, 30, 40 years.
Well, no, yeah. So
1860,
1860,
I think. Yeah,
so
and
it's
so 1880s Germany, 1860s
we're
Italy.
looking at 50 years.
50 years. Yeah, so basically
in living
memory. In living memory, they became Italy.
So he has pride and love for a young country.
Exactly. And people, they were responding to it, and they keep saying the drumbeat of war was really making people feel like, the Germans.
Yeah.
So his trial's going not well, but it's going. And then he's Italian to the core in that omerta way. He's like, he won't bring in his brothers. And in fact, instead of mentioning his brothers, he says, I did it by myself. They're like, that's impossible. He's like, okay. Actually, I did it. And he names two other people, not his brothers. He fingers two friends.
They're like, whoa.
They're like, hey.
He's like, okay, so there I was with Pablo Picasso and JP Morgan.
And we were just talking, we should rob
We're just a couple bros.
So at one point in his trial, in yet another demand for respect, Vincenzo insists that the prosecution is wrong and that he is not, as they keep describing him, just some house painter, but he is actually a pittore, which in Italian means, I am an artiste, right?
Okay.
So on June 5th, 1914, the court decides he is also a criminale. So Vincenzo Perugia, he's convicted, sentenced to what seems to be a rather lenient sentence, and this is likely due to his insistence of patriotism.
Yeah.
But he gets 1 year and 15 days. And he never gave up his brothers.
Good for him.
They stay free.
Good for him.
A few days after he's sentenced, World War I officially kicks off, and everyone says, we don't care anymore about all that.
Yeah.
We're going from beauty to bloodshed. And they turn their minds completely away, and the story gets lost to time.
Did he get let out to fight?
Yeah, he went and he fought for Italy, and then he survived the war. And he managed to get married, have a kid, had a daughter named Celestina. Good, and then eventually he passed away, as all mortal creatures did.
And he named him Zaron.
Yes, grandson.
No,
there is a theory that Vinny wasn't a patriot. or even the mastermind of this crime. And instead, in fact, he was just a hired inside man.
Oh.
And this theory, you'll see it online, is that there was a man named Eduardo di Valfierno, and he was the true mastermind of the theft of the Mona Lisa. The story goes, Valfierno was a con man, a career criminal. He'd been hired by a French art forger named Yves Chaudron. And you see, when the Mona Lisa was stolen, not only was the image published in newspapers all around the world, but suddenly the painting became a sensation. So postcards were being purchased, copies of the original were being purchased, and, it became basically the world's first must-have dorm room poster, right? That's essentially what it is, right? Now, being a forger, Yves Chaudron, he's like, I got to cash in.
Yeah.
So he's like, he'd anticipated the furor over the stolen masterpiece because he happened to have set himself up with paintings, just scads of copies. And he's an art forger, so they look identical. They're basically counterfeits. Yeah. And he's hoping he can maybe pass one or two off as the original.
Yeah, why not?
And get a big payday off of like a counterfeit. So
wow.
Yeah, so the idea is that he knew this demand would be instant and profitable, and he gave him time to paint the counterfeits because he had arranged for it to actually happen. He created the demand. The idea was the forger Zaron hired this con man, Valfierno, who in turn hired Vinnie Perugia, the self-described patriot, who ultimately steals the Mona Lisa. And this theory comes to light in 1932 in the Saturday Evening Post. But there's more to this story because the journalist was named Carl Decker. You wouldn't know him. I don't know him. It doesn't matter. But he was an old-fashioned writer of the yellow journalism era. He was a washout from the William Randolph Hearst heyday.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's years past his glory. And he was like, he's the kind of guy who helped get America into the Spanish-American War. He's like got blood on his hands. Right. So now he's like, I haven't had a good bloody story for a while. But finally, he's got a story to tell.
He's like, we got a lot of tension over here in Europe. And I got itchy trigger
1932,
finger.
I'm feeling lucky.
Right?
So the journalist, apparently, he crossed paths with the con man, Valfierno, in 1913, before the painting had resurfaced. And the French con man spilled his guts to the American journalist and tells him the whole criminal escapade, the scam of it all. And years later, the journalist writes it up and the Saturday Evening Post runs the story. There's a problem with the story, though. The story of the scam of the forger Yves Chaudron and the con man Eduardo di Valfierno, total fabrication. It's more yellow journalism. So
you're kidding.
What Decker had done was basically steal the cachet of the Mona Lisa and make up a story that could maybe, get him some little cachet of his own. And he waited till no one could refute the story.
Right.
And then he's like, what are you going to trust me or some French criminals?
Oh, my God.
Now, if you can believe it, there's a whole movie that debunks his theory. There's a documentary about it that goes into like how he's wrong. And there was a bunch of people who wanted to basically correct the lie. And now, just for the sake of it, this is a book review from the Association for Research of Crimes Against Art.
I love this already.
The review destroys a recent book that I won't mention that repeated the whole con man and forger story. And I quote, "The Valfierno story was long ago rejected as one of two things, either a wholesale invention by Carl Decker to sell his story, or a wholesale invention by a con man in Casablanca that pulled the wool down over Mr. Decker's eyes. It is a shame, then, that a work of nonfiction professing to tell the true story behind a famous true crime should so mislead its readers. Without the addition of myth, the story of the theft of the Mona Lisa is rich and enthralling, with a fabulous cast of characters, the backdrop of pre-war Paris, and Florence, and ripples felt to this day. For not only was the theft of the Mona Lisa the most famous theft of any object in history, but it also inspired other thefts, altered the concept of what makes a work valuable, and proved to be a turning point in the history of art, of collecting, and of art crime." They're like, and this bozo got it wrong.
I love it.
Now, for what it's worth, I think my man Leonardo da Vinci, who was known as a big practical joker, would appreciate all this mystery and lies and creative mayhem swirling around his work, and that his work is still creating to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the Mona Lisa remains a riddle wrapped up in a mystery, ensconced in an enigma, and with a smile of an angel. So that's it, Elizabeth. That's my story. I got to ask you, though.
Yeah.
What's your ridiculous takeaway?
Well, I'm just thinking about that final book review, but I really love like cattiness in niche interest groups.
Yes.
So
I pulled that for you.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying that. But I also, I think about too how we put value onto anything really, but works of art in particular. And
it's the story of it all.
It's the story. And
it's the Marcel Duchamp. He proved that. It's the story of it all.
And so you can have like technical ability or just like the emotional resonance with something. And I guess particularly in more accessible areas of art.
Yes.
When you get more into like some of the postmodern stuff where it
there's
has to
too
be
much story to
explained to you
Yeah.
to understand what that is. But in these terms, there's that immediate emotional connection that people have or an understanding. But then that when we say provenance, we're not just tracking the ownership. We're tracking the story of the piece as a living thing, really.
Yeah, totally.
And that always just is so interesting to me. What can increase the value? And then how do we do that like in our own lives? Not just for like a piece of art, but things that we have that are important to us because of a story behind it.
Yeah.
And so the kind of currency and value of story and
the Maltese
experience.
Falcon of it all.
I mean, so I'm
essentially
enjoying that part of it.
Oh, and that was my ridiculous takeaway. So thanks a lot, Elizabeth.
I knew I could slide in there like
yoink, just okay, whatever.
Cloud of dust behind me.
My ridiculous takeaway is that you shouldn't name your son.
My ridiculous
Michelle
takeaway is that Zaron doesn't have original thought, and Elizabeth came up with it first.
Listen, it's just so clever and fresh.
Was this the smartest person?
Zaron's over here like a Xerox copy of a fart. So.
My ridiculous takeaway is Elizabeth has to make fun of Zaron's intelligence because he's far superior to her.
Blah. Anyway, you can find us online at Ridiculous Crime.
Yes.
On both Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, that's where we lie to the public. Instagram is where we put photos.
Twitter's where we put our COVID misinformation.
Instagram, isn't that what Twitter's for? I thought it was just all.
It's
anyway.
all misinformation.
Instagram, that's where the truth and the light and the way is found. There's also photos we put up. So
And we won't do any reels. I don't even know what that is.
A reel?
I don't know. I told the Instagram person that does our Instagram account, like
what's a
do
reel?
we have to do a real thing? And they just gave me the finger.
you were holding a fishing pole when you said it.
I was.
That was the confusing part. You're like, do I have to do a reel? I brought
and they were all, Grandma.
They're like, oh, Grandma. But you can find us there at Instagram where the interns keep
where
us
the sun
fresh.
don't shine.
And the stories are put up there for the giggles. And, you get sneak peeks of eps on both. So hit them up. Email if you want. We're at ridiculouscrime@thegmail.com.
Gmail. At the Gmail.
Thanks for listening. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by our resident art history-themed male stripper, Leonardo de Castuno, a.k.a. Dave Custon. Research is by Mona Marissa Brown and Andrea Giconda Conda Chameleon. Our theme song is by the Duke of Milan, Tommasino Lee, and Archduke Travissimo Dodentino. Executive producers are Ben, paint me like one of your French girls, Bolin, and no, and then paint me like one of your French squirrels, Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.